Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Talk Network channel, specifically here, Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Apparently, I am I'm a little bit late for the episode, but spending some time with family in between my NFL show. I did have my NFL show, first one for the 2017 season, my predictions and everything. Welcome to check that out here on the channel. Since I am doing this episode late here for Steve's Wrestling Ramble, I might not have my team co-host here tonight, so it might just be me. So it'll be a short episode either way. But if they do join in later on, then definitely obviously check out when they jumped on and others did as well. Sometimes episodes start off slow and go hard from there. But either way, thanks for those watching live in archive. Welcome to follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast. Now, I am here by myself. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the Mae Young Classic, many beautiful women, good athletes in this tournament. And a pretty good first round, I would have to say. I was heading into this tournament looking forward to seeing some of these women in the WWE ring, how they do this and that. Candice LeRae and Kairi Sane out of the first round matchups were the ones that impressed me the most. And Tessa Blanchard actually losing was surprising to me in a way. But maybe they want to try to promote Kairi Sane more and have her move on as far as they plan to. And Tessa already has her foot in the door, so to speak. Like that's maybe she or either already has one or will have a WWE contract here shortly. And, it didn't hurt to lose in the first round. So that's the unfortunate thing, right? You have 32 best women in the world, professional athletes, women, superstars, wrestlers. Most of them have to lose there in the first round. So, unfortunate or unfortunate, that is just how it would be. But I did really enjoy the first 4 episodes here, the first round, with all the matchups from there. I know that member of the 4 Horsewomen of MMA, she did pretty well. I thought I saw something on Twitter or something between her and then a couple of the 4 Horsewomen of the WWE that were in attendance for the show. I didn't see that airing, that actually aired on WWE Network, but it was on Twitter that night when it was taping a month ago, which feels like even longer ago. But no, I am enjoying this Mae Young Classic. Great talent there, beautiful women. Also, it might be 2017 and Women's Evolution, but they still wear the wear for women ringers. So certainly is not a sight for sore eyes for sure. But good matches, good competition, good talent. And I look forward to seeing how the second round goes. I've been able to be spoiler free myself. Excuse me. I plan to keep that going heading into the next round as we get closer and closer to the finale, which will be on television, I think, in September here. Obviously, September's actually tomorrow. So saying goodbye to August here tonight with my busy night here with my NFL show and wrestling show, and we're back to back. Then tomorrow, September 1st. So here, sometime in September, we'll have the finale live on the WWE Network for the Mae Young Classic. So what does the winner really get? I haven't heard anything unless you guys have heard something on what they would get. I don't know. I would have thought that one of them would have been the one to defeat Asuka, give her first loss, this and that. But we'll have to see moving forward what happens. What happens there? Because it's certainly going to be interesting for sure. Monday Night Raw, Alexa Bliss wins back the women's title. So that was kind of cool to see. SmackDown was all right in its own right. AJ Styles reopening the U.S. Open Challenge, having that back, so it's really cool as well. I don't see anything else changing from there. But either way, I was going to go through some of the news and notes this week, at least from what I've read in the Jersey and online. One thing here I see Sasha Banks on the Sam Roberts podcast. I don't know exactly which day of the week this was. I would assume being Wednesday and their off day. We'll talk, as I read here, verbatim with Sasha shooting on WWE and how they've been booking her with short title reigns, and the fact that she has not successfully defended the title each time she has won it. She's wondering why she wasn't pushed. Also, she was complaining that she's doing PR in Australia to promote the Australian tour while the Mae Young Classic was being filmed. I believe she should have been there in attendance instead of being in Australia. And she said that she had to get Bailey to FaceTime her so she would be able to watch any of the matches. I think in that situation, you're just doing your job, going to Australia, you're doing PR, and they just didn't sync up right. Mae Young Classic was filmed at that time. You were in Australia to do PR work for WWE for an Australian tour, and you were one of the best, right? One of the best women's wrestlers in WWE, let alone overall. And they thought it was best to have you part of that, part of the PR work there. Unfortunate that it happened at the same time as Mae Young Classic. Whether they meant to do that to you or not, I would think not. I mean, WWE being the big company that it is, they have time to be petty, as I would think, in that way. So that unfortunate event occurring, being on the same day, at least you were able to have your friend be able to FaceTime you, be able to see some of the competition of the Mae Young Classic. You'd just be happy you got that, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see anything, or be like everybody else having to wait till it actually aired on the WWE network and going from there. So that's just the way I see it. And Sasha Banks, I understand her gripe with booking of her, but in the same vein, she's a 4-time women's champion. She is, she is one that's going to be the main event scene for a long time, going to be a future champion 2 times over. I don't see there being a big issue from there moving forward, at least to me. And thank you, Joker8902, for saying hi here in the live chat. Really appreciate it. Like I said, I wish I had my team members here, my co-hosts. But A, I did this episode late because I did my NFL show first. And B, I don't know, it's not a prediction show, so sometimes they're not able to make it that way either. So, anyways, other news and notes that I want to bring up. Like I said, not too much else really to bring up about Raw and SmackDown that I already did bring up in my reviews of Raw and SmackDown. Those review shows on Monday and Tuesday. Triple H commenting on Ronda Rousey possibly signing with WWE, and he says, I quote, Ronda has been a fan of WWE her entire life. She's been very public about that. It's something that she's definitely interested in, and I'll just say it. If she wants to come in and work a match, we'll give her the opportunity. There's an entire locker room of women that would gladly face her. We're all about personalities, and she brings that to the table. The ball is in her court. I wonder if Triple H saying that maybe there's a deal already made. Because remember, she was there live for the Mae Young Classic tournament tapings. And maybe, just maybe, since she was in the building in WWE World, might have talked to Triple H. Might have maybe not signed them down the line right then and there. Maybe not. But maybe a verbally agreement. Maybe at least working and crunching out the numbers. That part of the business. Sometimes people hate, but making that thing work, and both sides wanting it to work. I do see Ronda Rousey back, or not back in the WWE. I see her in the WWE here sooner rather than later. At least in my opinion, I do. And depending on the rest of the 4 Horsewomen, maybe at WrestleMania, could have 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen. 4 Horsewomen of MMA versus the 4 Horsewomen of WWE. That's something that would be a slobber knocker of a match for sure, at least in my opinion. And like I said, since they don't have a lot to talk about in general on SmackDown, I'm going to be reading a lot of news and rumors here and giving my thoughts on it. You're welcome to share your thoughts on it as well as I read it. If you're watching live, if you're watching archive, you can do the same there in the comment section below this video. But I put the time as well. Sami Zayn here, tears of joy. On the proudest day of my life, our mobile clinic in Syria is up and running. We can make a difference, Sami, for Syria. So actually good things going on there for Sami Zayn, at least in that realm. Very awesome to see, actually, to be quite honest. Alberto Patron is scheduled to return to Global Force Wrestling for Impact tapings in November. So, good for him, I guess. Okay. Anyways, moving on. According to The Observer, Batista is being considered to be the headliner for the 2018 WWE Hall of Fame. I don't have an issue with that. And if that is going to be the case, that means The Undertaker won't be in the Hall of Fame this upcoming year, which is awesome. And the fact of, for me, as a big Undertaker market fan and still wanting to go to a WrestleMania, and that'd be my first show ever I would attend at first WrestleMania, obviously, as well. And would actually at least be able to see an Undertaker entrance live and in person at least once before he officially retires. An actual entrance to a match, not just an entrance to his retirement speech or something, but to a match as well. So to have Batista as a headliner for 2018 Hall of Fame, I mean, The Undertaker, his is going to be 2019, 2020, whatever that would be. Moving forward, just checking here the live chat. Samoa Joe being pulled from the Australian tour due to Samoa Joe knee injury on the weekend. Samoa Joe has been removed from the Australian tour until further notice. If Joe is cleared by medical in time, he will join the tour back, but is looking unlikely at this stage. It's ironic that I was reading this today, because earlier today I was watching YouTube channel Up, Down, Xavier Woods. His channel there, he was doing Madden, like all-pro competition with an NFL player. I was actually pretty interested to check that out on YouTube, Up, Down YouTube channel. But anyways, I didn't even know he had an injury, let alone being pulled from the tour. They're in the Australian tour. But hopefully he's right. He'll be fine. Maybe that's why he hasn't been on Raw the last couple of weeks for anything, because I thought, especially after that fatal 4-way for the Universal title at SummerSlam, that moving forward, he would at least be in a somewhat semi-main event feud moving forward. I mean, you take Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, put them back together as a tag team, you have some spots to fill in your upper mid card, let alone in your main eventers heading into the next pay-per-view for Monday Night Raw. Then again, that's just me. Bobby Roode expecting a push heading into or on his SmackDown live since his debut. I guess that works. Also, I've been hearing rumors he'll be facing Dolph Ziggler as his first feud. That's fine with me too. More so for Bobby Roode. As I said last week, Dolph Ziggler maybe should just retire, move on, go into the comedy, because I know he enjoys that. Well, that for sure. So I know that's something that he would thrive in. He seems like he's pretty good at it as well. Kane comments on if The Undertaker will return for one more match, and he says, and I quote, "Here's the thing, The Undertaker does what he wants to do. He deserves it. If he wants to come back for another match, then he will. He's one of those guys that when it's time to watch him compete at WrestleMania, you look at him and say, does he ever age? I think that will ultimately be the deciding factor on how he feels." Well, hopefully he does. I mean, I'd at least like to see him in one more match at WrestleMania 34 right now in New Orleans, and then hanging up. As much as what happened at 33 with him putting his gear down and everything at the end, and being the main event, yeah, it was apropos, but for a superstar like The Undertaker to retire on top would be the best way. I mean, just on top in general, and getting a win, not on top and becoming the WWE champion, and then don't give me back the night after on Raw. You know what I mean? I actually mean him going on top, winning a match, and getting his win back, especially New Orleans. Go back to the place where his streak was ended. Of course, crushed, killed by Brock Lesnar. I still say Undertaker, John Cena. But if you really want him to get his win back, get his win back from the guy who ended the streak himself, Brock Lesnar. But I know people are already saying, and I agree as well, to be quite honest, Brock Lesnar is probably still going to be the Universal Champion. And we'll probably have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will probably be winning the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 34. So Brock's tied up. So for The Undertaker, I think it's best to have him against John Cena. And him beating John Cena is not going to hurt John Cena because he's John Cena, who has his own thing to break, and that's championship, 16-time champion, tying with Ric Flair. Now he wants to break that. I'm sure he does, and since he's John Cena, he will. So we'll have John Cena Undertaker one-on-one match, no titles, no gimmicks either, no stipulations, and I don't think so, unless it is a retirement type of match, which then would mean he would have to lose. But I want him to win. But then again, Mark Calloway The Undertaker. He's a consummate professional, and he still goes by the old school rules. Up here, going out, you go out on your back, you put someone else over. But that's more for the new. If it's a new guy, if it's a fresh, if it's a young blood, but it's not. It's John Cena. If they go that route, and what I'm hoping and thinking, then again, this is just my opinion, would be best to have him win, meaning the Undertaker. But who knows? We'll certainly see when we get there. Triple H comments on a potential women's brand show following the Mae Young Classic, and he says, and I quote, we're experimenting with a lot of different things as far as programming goes. With the women, you hopefully have opportunities to beef up the roster for Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. While it's still a work of progress, we still have the intention to do a weekly show in the United Kingdom as well. We want the women in WWE to have the same opportunities the men do. We don't need a separate show as long as there continues to be opportunities. At the same time, we're not ruling it out. It's this business, you can never say never. In this business, you can never say never. Well, first, you have to have enough women for a division. I mean, not for a division, but for a show. Now, if they signed every single person from the Mae Young Classic, which is 32 beautiful, talented, awesome, cool women, them themselves, plus the 12 or 14 women you already have in the roster, Raw and SmackDown, plus the 6 in NXT, you have a good, not just women division in WWE, but you have enough for a show, let alone you would have enough for a gosh darn women's Royal Rumble. I don't know how many times I can be saying this. Technically I can say it each and every day until I'm blue in the face if I want to. But point being is, that's what I want in 2018, a women's Royal Rumble. And as Mounty's Corner brought up last time he was on the show, have it start the show. Have it be starting off the Royal Rumble with the women's Royal Rumble, then having the men's at the end. You're still showcasing the women. Yeah, they might not be main eventing with their Royal Rumble as the first, but it's making noise because it's going to be starting off the show. Money in the Bank, women's first ever Money in the Bank ladder match started off the show. Sometimes starting off the show isn't a bad thing. And for any superstar, whether you're a main eventer, mid-carder, or whatever you're on the card, if you're on the card at all for a pay-per-view, first, just be happy with that. Second, even if you're a pre-show match, as much as those might quote-unquote suck and they're not on DVDs for pay-per-views, which I wonder if they still do DVDs for each and every pay-per-view, so it's on the network. But point being, you make your match shine and you make it worthwhile. You make people care. You make it as best as you can to be the show stealer in that way. So point being is for the women, if they have a women's Royal Rumble, still have it start off the show and be awesome. Still be the thing that they talk about at the end of the show, even after title matches and the men's Royal Rumble and the craziness of that with, usually you get veterans, Hall of Famers that make surprise appearances, returns, call-ups, other awesome things. Just awesome. But I have awesome things happening in the women's Royal Rumble, let alone it happening. Because I don't want them just to have a women's Royal Rumble to have it, to appease us fans. I want them to have a women's Royal Rumble and actually care and do it. And have it succeed and have it be good. I think it will. And it's best for business to make it as great as they can make it. Just checking here any other news or notes I want to bring up. Like I said, my team members aren't here this week, so I'm just going through some news and notes, trying to make search of this episode longer than it probably would have been. Mark Henry announced earlier this week on the Sam Roberts podcast that he has retired from active wrestling, but still remains a part of the WWE and will work with them in the future. Henry also mentioned maybe having one more match and then calling it quits for good. Well, do superstars ever truly retire? No. But it seems like for Mark Henry, it'd be the end. Great career, awesome person. Hopefully he does have like a backstage role in some way, shape, or form. Good for the business and doing the for the young talent coming in, especially the big man there coming into the WWE for sure. So I don't see any other news or notes or any rumors or any breaking news unless you guys know things. Lapis Gamer here in the live chat, so thanks for CC. Person said, Steve, I heard that Shayna Baszler is on the radar of the WWE, saying she is willing to sign. Do you think it will affect the ending of the classic? No, I don't think it will. I mean, unless she's in the finals. Like I said, I try to stay away from spoilers. So if she's in the semifinals, because I think they taped the first 3 rounds, right? There's 3 rounds, and then they have the semifinals and the finals. So they taped all the way up to the semifinals. And if she's in the semifinals, and I think Shayna Baszler is that person I was talking about as a member of the Four Horsewomen in MMA, right? Hopefully, I'm not misremembering that. But to answer your question, though, I don't think it will. To answer your question directly, do I think it'll affect the ending of the classic? No. The only way I see that affecting the end of the classic, in my opinion, at all, is depending on what they're going to be doing with her when she does come into WWE, and if they want to really use her as, as they call it, strapping a rocket to her back, giving her a mega push. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you for confirming that. Sometimes I question myself. Anyways, if they're planning to do that moving forward, I don't know, but I don't think it will affect it, because I have a feeling, because WWE, they're smart cookies, as much as we sometimes say they're not with booking. But in this regard, I would say they are, because just the point is, I think WWE had it on the radar for a long time, thinking that maybe she probably will, because they're also trying to get Ronda Rousey, a news story I just talked about a few minutes earlier, previously. Why not try to sign all other women of UFC 4 Horsewomen? I don't see that being an issue. But no, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lapis Gamer. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by or staying here for as long as you have. I'm just trying to see here for myself, since I am the host, other news and notes. Those are the main 6 or main 5 that I could find that were justifiable. I mean, there's tons of others, but nothing that I thought would. I already talked about Bobby Roode and Ziggler being rumored as the first feud. They show here the poster for WWE No Mercy with Brock Lesnar and Braun on the cover. Emma here is demanding that WWE releases some merch for her, so okay. Kevin Owens comments on possibly teaming up with Sami Zayn to go after the SmackDown Team titles. I know Katrina. So, but that be it for the news and notes. But I thank everybody, and Lapis Gamer specifically, for helping me out here with some news and notes. I do try to be on my game as much as I can. But thanks for everybody stopping by, watching live or archived. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I gotta go. More family time. Other stuff. So enjoy the rest of your evening. I will be back here Monday night, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. So enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Have fun. Welcome to follow me on Twitter at @W_podcast. If you have a suggestion for a video I should do, or you want me to talk about on its own in a separate video, it doesn't even have to be sports. It doesn't even have to be wrestling. It can be childhood story or whatever else randomness you want me to talk about. Let me know in the suggestion. Give me a suggestion here in the comment section below the video when it gets posted, and I'll let you know if I will move forward with that. But as always, take care.